Hi everyone, my name is Nicole for those who don't know me, and I'm really excited to record my birth vlog. I'm due in about 5 days, and I use the word due very lightly just because you just never know when your babies are supposed to arrive. My first baby, Kinley, he came 5 days later than expected. So I'm really excited to create this video. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I was inspired to, probably for several reasons. One, this is my planned last pregnancy, and so I love to document the experience of bringing another baby into the world. I think it might be a lot different than my last experience just because I have changed a lot over the last several years being a working mom, as well as I prepared a lot differently due to circumstances as well as just knowledge and things like that. Yeah, I'll be documenting hopefully most of those stages and just reflecting and having this as a piece for me and my family and friends to look back on and see how beautiful it is to actually bring life into the world. Now, before we go into the actual delivery or the whole labor process as well, I'd love to kind of recap my first birth experience. And so it was done at a hospital. We did have interventions done for Kinley, and by no means would I say it was negative birth at all. It started on the 26th of April in 2018, and I had Braxton Hicks contractions, and I mistook those for being actual active labor contractions. Because it was the first time doing it, I had no idea. We were timing it, the times, were within 4 to 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, we should go to the hospital. So before heading there for the first time, I was laboring, or early laboring, I guess, in the bathtub, watching Scott Pruitt get roasted by the Senate. He was formerly of the APA, despise that man. And I remember just being very relaxed. My baby sister Lauren was around. She was really funny, as well as my husband and my small dog Juju. And it was very just fun. I had felt some pain. So by the time I got to the hospital, the staff took one look at me and they're like, she's not in labor. So they checked me, of course I wasn't dilated enough, so they sent me back home. So during that day, the 26th, I guess I moved more and more from latent labor, so that 0 to 4 centimeter stage, to active labor. And so we went to Costco. I remember walking through Costco with my family. I think we were trying to get something for dinner, like bulgogi or something. And I would just feel a contraction, like, ugh, but I was distracted, so it wasn't that bad. And then nighttime happened, and I've recently learned that hormones surge more than in the night. That's why most women go into labor or start their labor in the night period. And so everyone started going to sleep. The contractions definitely started getting stronger, more forceful, and I basically was doing active labor by myself because I wanted my husband to sleep, because what else can we really do during the night? And so what I found amazing was when I wanted to be by myself in the dark, and my body was putting me in these positions that I just felt really good, even though it was not the most pleasant experience. So one being kind of like a downward dog position, I will never forget that pose. And so by the time the morning of the 27th arrived, I could hardly talk through them, and well, it's definitely time. We called my doctor this time before heading to the hospital, and we ended up going. And they checked me, and I was actually at 7 centimeters by myself. And what I loved about my experience at the hospital was that the nurses, one of them actually asked me, like, do you want to we can pop your water and you can go on, unmedicated without the epidural. But I was so tired at that point, I didn't sleep the whole night because I was going through the active labor. I was like, no, please give me the drugs. And I went like this, even though the epidural goes in your back. And so I wanted some rest. And I never felt pressured to get it. I just myself was so tired, and I wasn't used to obviously not sleeping throughout the night. So I was like, I need the rest so I can get on with this. Looking back, if I knew that would have slowed down my labor or changed the experience, I might have done differently. But it was the best decision that I could have made, and I never felt forced into it. So I ended up getting epidural. I was able to get a little bit of rest. I could still feel the contractions. So I kept on asking for more. I thought you weren't supposed to feel anything, but I guess some people feel pain with the epidural still. And then the day of 27, they got later and later. Then my labor started slowing down. So they advised to give me Pitocin or synthetic oxytocin to help speed things up. For several reasons. One, because I started developing a fever, as well as they were monitoring the fetal heart rate. Things were kind of going awry. So they just wanted to kind of speed things up there. We finally got to the pushing stage, and one thing I did not feel ever was the urge to push. So it's one thing I hope to do differently this time. From what I understand, it's more of like a natural, like your body wants to expose the baby. I just never felt that. I'm not sure because of the level of anesthetics I was on, or opioids rather, or I don't know why. And so we were there. I was pushing. Kinley's head would show up and then go back in, show up and go back in. And so finally my doctor arrived and he offered options, which I also appreciated. I never felt forced to go into, a C-section or using interventions and so on and so forth. And so he basically was like, you can continue to push. I was like, I don't know if I have energy for this. We can do a C-section, which is trying to avoid, or we can use a forceps delivery. So at that point, it was like 6 p.m. I've been in labor for about almost 48 hours from, the very beginning. I was like, let's go ahead and do the forceps. I didn't want to push all this and go through all this just to have a C-section. So they ended up giving me more epidural in the back. So it was really numb, my legs down. They ended up pulling Kinley out around 7 p.m. and 7:17 to be exact. He was very healthily pulled out. Very healthy delivery in terms of my baby's health. I had a level 2 tear, not too bad, and there he was. And I became, mom officially with the baby outside of the womb. And it was a great experience. One thing I didn't like after that was I was unable to walk, and I think the epidural effects on me, I was shaking. And I know that's probably normal with the hormones changing and all that, but I just really couldn't walk and it was so cold. And so I hope to avoid that this round. Again, not a negative experience. It's just, it went how it went. I have a very healthy son, healthy delivery. There are some photos that I will definitely show in this vlog of my sister and her reaction to the forceps delivery. But overall, I'm very happy with how it went, to the extent that we're even choosing to go to the same hospital again versus having a home birth. So that was my first story. And so continuing on for this labor and delivery, if you know me, I'm pretty granola. So I love nature, for sure. I love organic things. I love eating healthy. I was a vegetarian for a long time until I became pregnant, and I love meat. But I always opted for the natural route. And I didn't even know if I wanted kids before, but when I did think about having kids in my 20s or before, I always said I would do a water birth. So I find it fascinating for me right now that I'm choosing to have birth in a hospital. And again, I think it's probably due to the fact that I have such a positive experience my first time. I never really liked hospitals before. I rarely was in them, gratefully. But it was a very good experience. So I'm choosing that again. And this round, though, to hopefully reduce the number of medical interventions, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Now, going in already, there's definitely been a lot of differences between my first labor and my second labor. So the first one being for this pregnancy, I have a 3-year-old and I wasn't able to do a lot of self-care things or exercise as much. And that's okay. I was busy chasing him around. My husband and I work all the time. We're full-time employees as well. We have a son, so we are working, as a working parent goes, like 12 hours a day. And so not that I was necessarily inactive, but I was not necessarily going to the gym as well. So that was a huge difference I noticed this round. I did gain more weight, which, that was the least of my problems when you're pregnant. Things such as like a stuffy nose. I can't wait to get that I'm hot all the time. I'm also pregnant during the summer, which has been very interesting. We just had a heat wave of 117 in Las Vegas Valley, so ready to not be pregnant anymore because I'm so hot. And then another big monkey wrench, of course, that everyone else has felt the pinch of is COVID-19. So in addition to that, kind of just being home all the time, not having as many options to, exercise, even go to the park at some points last year, but that has opened up significantly. And excitingly, when I go to the hospital, we don't have to wear masks anymore if we're vaccinated. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. We definitely went through some challenges as a family in the beginning of COVID, but we worked through them. So I feel like just much more confident going into this labor, even this next journey of motherhood with 2 kids, much more flexible and much more secure in my own stand, if that makes sense. So I have those different elements. And then lastly, due to my advice to my sister, I'm actually going to go with, or I'm going with, a labor doula, as well as postpartum doula. So we hired a lovely woman named Aisha Fanning and her counterpart, Sarah. And I just have calm and peace knowing that in addition to Chris, who's so helpful, will have a maternal energy. They've had 8 kids amongst themselves to support me during the labor, maybe with positions or words of encouragement that Chris obviously has done, but they have the experience of knowing how to do so. So I'm really excited again to document and see how this goes. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm really recently inspired. And so that is the intro to my journey. So here is my labor box. I have words of encouragement and some things. For some reason, I feel like prepping for this labor is like prepping for a marathon. And then I also have a TENS machine, which my sister sent me, which I will try to use maybe on the way to the hospital. I have a birth wishes. I don't like to use the word plan because, as you know, in labor, everything is unpredictable. But very simple analog builds. I appreciate that just because I work in tech all day and I loved writing this down, so kind of got my vision into paper. This is a belly cast, so again, my goal is for this to be my last pregnancy. It's going to be probably crazy to look at this once I'm postpartum, be like, wow, already. And I've been doing some relaxation. It's one of my favorite yoga positions. It opens up my chest. And then recently, starting at week 38, sorry, my messy bathroom, I've been using this Epino, again, at encouragement of my sister. And I've been stretching my perineum and practicing literally birthing the ball out. Hey guys, so today is Monday, 6/28. It's actually Chris and I's 7th wedding anniversary, and it's about 5 p.m. I just came back from a gyno visit, and she says that I'm about 1.5 centimeters dilated, so clearly I'm progressing. I'm very thin, and she swept my membranes, and she said that should do the trick. So we will see what's going on. I hope I have a few more days just to relax without working, but we'll see. Good morning, everyone. So today is July 1st, 2021. I can't believe that. It is my due day. I'm a little opinionated, I guess, from my experience about due days, just because with my first son, he came 5 days late, and I was totally 0 centimeters until the end. He actually was sideways or transverse, and he shifted, and I dilated from 0 to 7 within like 24 hours. So I think it just happens when it happens. But again, this pregnancy is very different. I have been feeling cramps for the last 2 weeks or so. And as you know, on Monday, my doctor stripped my membranes. So I've been seeing that come through, my mucus plug. And then yesterday I was with Kinley and had extreme hip pain, or my butt pain. So I couldn't even push him on the swings, and I felt bad, but hopefully I'll get better soon so I can do that. And so, yeah, this morning I had some leg cramping, so I couldn't sleep well, hence the morning look. You're seeing my nose strip that I have to use because I have pregnancy rhinitis or I can't sleep. And then right now I just have a little bit of cramping and I'm really tired, but yeah, I'll keep us all posted. I feel really tired, but I also want to clean. It's very interesting. Hopefully I get to clean underneath the couch today in addition to taking naps. So that's it. Going for a walk with Juju. And I use an umbrella because it's really hot out. Juju can see them. Juju can't see much anymore. I'm just really grateful that I have the day off of work and I can do a little bit of walking and cleaning and ultimately resting. Hey guys, so it's about, well, it is 11:24. Starting to feel a little bit more crampy. I didn't eat anything this morning, so probably should do that as well. And I'm also making chicken liver, which I recently learned is very nutritious postpartum. And of course, I'm also nesting. I have the vacuum going on in the living room for some reason, and I plan on at a time or energy to sweep underneath the couch. I don't know why. Okay, so update. It is now 11:45, and I think my water broke. I'm unsure just because it didn't happen last time, but I'm calling my doctor right now. Okay, see you later.
Denisa and Tomas are kind of scheduled to pick him up. They're on the list to pick him up, and they already have his bag. So I just have to kind of give him like the go ahead or not, just in case. But like I'm thinking, obviously, you know, with the water breaking, to your point, it is probably going to be coming sooner rather than later. So I'm thinking at some point today we are going to the hospital. So I just want you.
I think you should, yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, yeah, I'll just have him pick him up. But I haven't given him the full. I think you're the first call that she told, and then some client that I was on the phone with, I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. My wife's water broke. But I was like, he's just like asking me these questions. I'm like, dude, I'm not even thinking about what you're saying anymore.
You're like, I'm in active labor right now.
Yeah, we're gonna go eat Korean food because my wife wants Korean food, and that's what we're gonna eat. And then we'll see what we do.
How do you feel, babe?
You know, I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I feel like I'm giving a calming presence, which is good, and that's what I want to do, to be able to support you, babe. So that's where we are right now. And I'm actually hungry too, because I haven't eaten since yesterday.
I haven't eaten
since yesterday, so this is gonna be a nice meal.
Yeah, and the food's still leaking out, so we're just deciding if we should go back to the house or to the hospital. We'll probably go to the hospital because we're halfway there, but you're monkey wrenching because I wanted to labor at home, but it is what it is. And probably call the doula and let her know we're there, right, babe? So, what are we doing now, babe?
We are now heading to the hospital. We just had a lovely Korean lunch where our bellies are full, and we're going to see what they say when we get there.
Yeah, we decided to go just to get checked, and since we're already halfway there versus going back and having to come back. So we'll keep you guys posted. So now we're going to the hospital. It's 1:06 out. We're going to go get checked out and see what happens. Okay, so now they're monitoring me, and I feel like this happened last time, and I'm eerily calm. And then we might get some back home, or we might get admitted. We'll see. Right, babe?
That is right.
If the baby looks okay.
That's what we see. Okay.
I'm really tired.
We'll check in a bit.
Yeah. So I'll see you later, baby. Okay, wait, Kinley, Dada's gonna pick you up, and you're gonna stay at with Tobin today, okay? Kinley?
Yes, Mommy.
Yeah. I love you so much. I'll try to call you later, okay? Baby? Okay, bye, Kinley. I love you.
Bye, Mommy.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Love you, Ken.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye, baby. See you later.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Okay, we have Nicole. She's just taking a nice rest before the storm. Yeah. Oh, she's up.
No drugs yet.
No drugs yet. All right, try to get your rest, babe, okay?
You want pain? I have to my hips suppressed though.
Just doing a little hip action here. Sounds good. All right, we'll come back and keep.
So update, we're gonna get the toasting to start speeding things along. So I now have an intrauterine monitor to monitor contractions so they can appropriately dose the Pitocin. Just to get things moving a little bit. Just because nothing happened after 6 hours, right guys? That's Sarah.
Oh, hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Nothing happened. Okay, so we will see what happens. Okay. So Nicole's bouncing, swiveling those hips. Look at that. Look at her gyrating. Woo! I wish I had $1.
Oh my Lord. And more fluid just came out of me.
And some more fluids came
And
out.
I'm having contractions, but I'm
And she's having contractions, but she doesn't feel them, but they're happening.
Yeah.
So this is good. All right, keep bouncing. We'll let you know what happens.
And it's 4 centimeters, which I'm okay with. That'd be more, but and the contractions are pretty regular. They are pretty intense, but I have a break between, so I can talk to them now. I feel very cold. Look who's here. So we missed a lot of the vlog because things got really crazy, but we'll talk about it another time. Okay.
Yep, 4 centimeters till birth, real quick.
52 minutes.
And,
Now we're gonna eat.
yeah.
Hey everyone, so here we are finishing the vlog about 7 months later, just because it's crazy with 2 kids.
If you've been watching, you notice there was a big jump between Nicole's last part, and then next thing you know, Mirha's born. So yeah, Nicole started getting some contractions, but she still wasn't dilated. And then she felt the urge to use the bathroom, go number 2. The nurse came over and went down there and looked around, said it didn't seem like the baby. Nicole didn't feel like it was the baby, so she decided to use the bathroom. And
She said it was about 4 centimeters.
it's about
right?
4 centimeters, yeah.
And remember, for Kinley, I never felt the urge to push, so I didn't know. So I sincerely thought I had to poop out my Korean food.
And so she goes to the bathroom and she's there for a little bit, and she basically walked there on her own, no help at all. Didn't need assistance. So she was in there and then decided to labor in there a little bit. She comes out. I don't know exactly how long she was in there, trying to poop or laboring, but she comes out and walks back out fine. Says she didn't poop and gets back onto the bed. Now, what's interesting is that she sits down, starts having a regular conversation, and for me now at this point, I haven't used the restroom in a while, so I go to pee. I go across the room, close the door, and just as I'm about to pee, I hear this loud "Ah!" And I'm like, what was that? And so I didn't even get to pee. I just rinse my hands and I come out real quickly, and I'm like, what happened? And Sarah Abdullah says, look at the monitor. Look, he just had a spiking contraction, and then it happened again. So I rush over and
That was my primal scream.
I rush over, I grab one hand, Sarah grabs the other. The nurse comes back into the room and goes to take a look. So she goes downtown just to see what's happening, and she looks and she's like, baby is coming. She gets on her little mic. She's like, whatever, like code something, baby is coming.
It was about 10:30.
Yeah,
So
about like 10:30 or so, and she's like, baby is coming. And so all these random, like, I guess, people that were in the hospital, they started coming through. So people we haven't seen because she was just a little bit, she just wasn't this far along yet. So it was, I guess, a shock to everyone in the unit. And then basically this whole crew comes in. The lights come on. Nicole is like squeezing, screaming, crushing hands left and right. And our doula was holding onto her right hand, and the nurse was kind of asking her help just to set up the bed that she was on to deliver a baby, because it wasn't even set for the proper mode for a doctor to be in there, for her legs to be spread apart. And so she just wasn't letting go of Sarah's hand, and finally Sarah was able to get it through and help her.
So I think at that point is when I left my body. I think it's called transgender. I forgot
Probably, and there's all this.
Mind wasn't
It was
there.
like, if you ever seen a TV show, it looked like an ER. People setting up things, going crazy, and then all of a sudden, like, she's screaming, and then I'm holding on to her hand just to give her the reassurance, and then she's screaming, and all of a sudden this woman with blonde hair, you saw her in the video, says, "You need to stop. I need you to breathe. Your baby needs you to breathe." And Nicole's like, "Ah!" She's like, "Stop!" And she's like, "Ah!" And then and then all of a sudden she just started looking into the eyes of this woman, and then she's calmed down and started breathing.
And the way she looked over the lights, her eyes were so blue, I'll never forget them. And then her hair is curly, so she looked like an angel.
And then she
Everyone has a boy nowadays. Hi, baby! Give me kisses. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you so much.
What's this?
Those are diapers.
Mommy?
No. Hi, Uncle Cliff.
We went for a run, you know how it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cheese!
Yeah, I love our-
Say cheese!
Yeah, cheese.
Can I have this?
You have your present for the baby?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in the, and it's inside.
It's inside? Okay.
Is this the bottom?
Yeah, well, who drinks from the bottle?
Mirha.
Nira.
Well, where's the baby?
She's
Where's the
inside. Want to go
baby?
inside and go see
That's
the
a good
baby?
question.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Let's see what the baby looks like.
That's from Mirha. What is
Mirha,
it?
Honey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give it.
Can't open it.
Well, do you want to go see who? Look at Mirha. Look at Mirha, Kayla.
You haven't met her yet.
Open it, Mama.
Do you need me to bring the car around before you leave us?
I can hug her.
You want to hug?
I can hug.
Okay, go hug her.
Slowly, Kenny, slowly.
Yay!
Can I open it?
Yeah, you can open that.
Instead.
Ooh, she likes it, Kinley. Look, it helps her sleep, like your Kiki.